You are a
And
selfish biatch.
seriously, Tamra can fuck all the way off after doing this.
Like that.
This is not making you a good housewife, Tamra.
No,
It makes you look like a complete asshole.
Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
We are talking about Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 19, Episode number 11, Loose Lips Sink Trips. It's all right. It's all right.
Pretty funny. Yeah.
And we pick up where we left off with Gina saying to Shannon, I worry about you. But I'm glad she clarified it. She did say, to be fair, that comment was more about what you did, Tamra.
Right.
You know, the shit you gave her all last year about drinking, and then you're, pulling her aside to have drinks. I love that she said that.
Absolutely. It needed to be said. And of course, then Tamra plays the victim and says, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't.
Yeah. And
You're not the victim here, and you twisted what Gina's intent was. So
right. And
no victim.
She also tried to double down with, but you did say that you were worried about her.
Yes.
Yeah. We've already established that, Tamra. Like, that's already been established. So Shannon says, listen, I'm making decisions that are best for me. Tamra asks, like, what do I have to do to make things better? And Shannon said, well, time. I think, time is something that I need. Listen, I appreciate, the kind gestures, and we laugh together and we have a good time. But I think right now what I need is time. And I think that's fair, right?
Totally fair. Totally fair.
And then Tamra says, well, as much as this conversation was difficult, like, I appreciate that we had it. And, I really believe that we are real friends and we can move forward from this. I call bullshit.
Well, it is bullshit because at the, we'll get there, but
Yeah,
at the end, and she gets mad at whatever Shannon's saying to her outside the house. The first thing she does is go inside and says, pour yourself another glass of champagne, Shannon.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit. She doesn't want to be
bullshit.
her friend. She's trying, she needs people because everybody knows she sucks now.
Right.
Except Heather and Emily and Gina.
Yeah. So then back in Beverly Hills, they're done with dinner. Then Heather went on this, which I thought was a little odd. I hope you appreciate my feelings about Tamra. Like, I was scared of Tamra before. Yes. I was like, wait, what?
I was very surprised she said that.
Because she's mean. She said, I've had many difficult people in my life. I started to tell her the story about my dad, and then they cut to her talking to her, Tamra, and telling her the story. And she said that, Tamra reminds her a lot of her dad because he used to have outbursts in public. And Tamra's like, well, I don't have outbursts in public in front of my friends and family. And Heather said, I'm not saying that you do.
But she does.
Right. No, she does. But she blew it off and she never came back to it. Like, she never asked me. She hasn't asked me since.
And what Emily said was so spot on. She said it's difficult for Tamra to have real friendships because she's always strategizing.
That's it.
She is 100% right. Tamra built her whole life now based on being a housewife.
Yes.
And what she has to do to be a good housewife as far as she's concerned. She thinks she's a good housewife.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that was really spot on that Emily said that. And I really hope that comes up at the reunion. And I really hope Emily doesn't backtrack out of it.
I agree with you.
Because she's right.
She's right. She's 100% right. So Gretchen says, well, what was the situation with your dad? And Heather's like, I appreciate you for asking. And I actually do think she appreciates Gretchen asking.
I do. And I think that this was a real honest moment that from Heather Dubrow that we very rarely get to see. And I appreciated it.
Yeah. I think the thing I think is interesting about this whole episode is that here we have Heather opening up about her dad and her relationship with her dad in Beverly Hills. And we have Shannon opening up about her dad and her relationship with her dad in Temecula. Temecula?
Yeah. Temecula, yeah.
Yeah. So, and like, they weren't together. Like, I think that those things actually happened organically. I don't know, though, with this show. Like, I really think it was organic. They seemed like real instances. It's just interesting that this happened, right?
Yeah.
So she says that her dad would, when they were out in public, like her and her sister, it was very uncomfortable. There'd be like random times when he would just have like an explosion in a restaurant or on vacation, and it was embarrassing. It was disturbing. And like, he has since passed, so it was never really a conversation I guess she got closure to, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah, because he passed, yeah.
right. And, we saw Heather interact with her mother many years ago when Gina first came on, when they went to that dinner in New York. And when we saw Heather's mother, it really explained to us a lot about who Heather is and why she is the way she is, right? I actually,
Yes,
do you
yes, I
remember what
remember
I'm
that.
talking about? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah, her mom was hard.
Yeah, very hard. And I
Yeah.
really wonder, like, what that whole dynamic was now that she's opening up about her father, you know?
So she didn't say that her father had a drinking problem or anything like
No,
that,
she
right? She
didn't.
didn't say
No,
that.
she just said he would have public outbursts. And, who
Mm,
knows? It could be a mental health issue,
for
It,
sure.
like we
For
don't we
sure.
don't we don't know what it was.
I
Um,
have public outbursts.
yeah. I mean, my kids would say that I do too.
I definitely do. Especially if I'm in a doctor's office and they make me wait more than a half hour for my appointments. I can see my kids, I can see like beads of sweat coming down my kids' foreheads. Like, oh no.
Because they know it's
Please call
coming.
our name. Please call our name.
Yep. Yep. So she's like, I just want Tamara to know that, like, when she acts that way, it makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, it brings me her back to a way, that she felt when she was younger. And then the ladies, Heather's like, do you want to go to the Abbey and dance? So they go to the Abbey. Now, they talk about the Abbey all the time on Vanderpump Rules,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
right? Well,
Yeah.
when Dana and I went to LA many years ago and we went to Sir and we went to Tom Tom, I think we were at the Abbey because we walked into a place where all these men were dancing, like, on the bars and stuff. I didn't know that's what it was called. Like, I didn't even know what it was called. But I mean, we had a great time there. We had such a good time there.
It
But I
looks
think
like a fantastic time.
yes, yes, that is, I think, where Dana and I went. And I mean, you could see that that was definitely a fun place to be.
Yeah, Emily had a really good time.
She was literally dancing on the bar. Literally dancing on the bar.
Gretchen knew her way around the pole too. Well, did she say? I didn't want to rewind it. It was so late when I was watching this.
Yeah.
Did she say she's kicked 2 strippers off of a pole? She kicked
Yeah,
2 strippers off of a pole to get on it?
yes.
And
Yeah.
I am clearly not saying this because I'm insinuating that she was once a go-go dancer, which it doesn't even matter if she was, because we know plenty of people who pole dance who were not strippers. But even if she was a stripper, God bless.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I had an ounce of rhythm in my body, it may have been something I would have pursued when I was younger, but I
Listen,
have no rhythm,
if I had her
and
body, I would have pursued it.
I've never had a body like that. I have no rhythm, and I probably would have broken the damn pole right out the ceiling.
Mhm.
It wasn't in
I
the
hear you.
cards for me.
No, me neither. No, I mean, they look like they were having a great time.
They had
And
a
that's
good time. It was a fun thing to watch, finally.
that's what I like to see. I like to see them really letting loose and really having fun. I mean, I think at one point Emily was like straddling that guy. I thought that they were
She
both going to go
sure as hell was.
I thought they were both going to go down, but they didn't.
He was very strong.
Gretchen is drinking her Fireball finally because they didn't have it at the other restaurant.
Yeah, she drank.
Emily is calling her Gretchers again. I mean, that's her name for her.
It is.
I did think it was a little odd that she FaceTimed Shane on the way home from there.
Were they FaceTiming her?
I thought she FaceTimed him. And
Okay.
and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, after you've been drinking and like, I don't know. I just thought
Yeah.
that was a little odd. And then Gretchen had said, "Well, we should have done karaoke. Like, do you think like we can go someplace and they'll play my song?" And Heather's like, "Oh, I forgot you did a song." And she's like,
I did
"No,
4.
4. I did 4 songs." I was like, "Oh, 4 songs. Okay."
Uh,
Emily's like, "Well, does Tamara know that you've had a song?" She's like, well, she's not a good singer. I do know that because she was trying to one time she was in the studio trying to make a recording, and I have a recording of it. But she said she was there with she says his name, but they bleep it out, which
I know
we
who
all
it is.
yeah. Jeff Timmons, right, from 98.
Did you listen to the recording?
I didn't listen to the recording. I tried to pull it up on
It's
SoundCloud.
so bad. It's
Is
on
it?
Facebook. Somebody posted it. It's
Okay.
the recording of her singing,
Yes,
not
yes.
anything else.
Right.
It's bad.
Yeah. So that's what they wanted to hear the recording of. But then she goes on to say that, oh no, that she was like messing around and she forgot that the mic was on because the producer sent the recording to Slade. So she calls up Slade and, Slade does what Slade does. And, he kind of, I don't want to say embellishes, but he kind of talks more about that incident, not her singing. Not her singing.
Yeah, and Gretchen did say somebody sent it to Slade.
Right.
She did say that.
She did say that. No, she definitely said that. And Gretchen was on Watch What Happens Live that night. And I did watch it and Slade was there. Andy asked Slade if he had the recording and he was referring to recording of the song. And he said, well, yeah, it's out there. It's out, everyone can hear it. Like it's out on SoundCloud. He goes, but no, it was sent to me. I have the recording. It was sent to me by the producer is what he said.
Because didn't Gretchen try to backtrack at some point saying, what did she said?
Right.
She tried to backtrack, right?
Yeah. But again, with Gretchen this season, it's all about semantics because
Exactly.
It's all about semantics. So the song was sent to Slade, not them messing around.
Right. So that was just like hearsay that was.
Absolutely. That's what that was hearsay because it came out on social media that, Tamra is looking she's going to contact her attorney. And you know what? Listen,
For what?
we know. Because
for somebody saying that you messed around with somebody? That's not. You have to prove damages, people, when you sue someone. Jim Bellino was able to prove damages because she and Shannon wouldn't shut the fuck up about him and said enough damaging things about him that it affected his profession. Quite honestly, the same thing that Tamra did about Slade. Gretchen saying that Tamra had sex with someone in a studio is not affecting her business. You have to prove damages. She's so stupid, Tamra. She's going to contact her attorney.
You get so passionate about this.
I get so mad. I can't stand her.
I know you get mad. You get really mad. You just went from 0 to 100.
I can't take these people she just plays the victim. She just plays the victim. She has literally been sued for this and found guilty because she was guilty. She did affect his profession. This isn't affecting her profession. What's she going to do? Defamation? You do enough damage to yourself on TV every week, Tam. Somebody saying you had sex with somebody in a studio is the least of your worries.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
All right, sorry I got so heated.
Yeah, you really did.
Just can't stand her.
That was quick. That was really quick.
See how I could pop off? Imagine me in public. I try not to do that in public, but it happens sometimes.
So they get back to Heather's place and she has matching PJs for all of them with their sleep masks and everything's monogrammed with their names on it. Very, very Heather Dubrow. And
I like when Gretchen said, should I take my shoes off? And Heather yells, you could do whatever you want. And I'm thinking, that's because all that stuff is getting ripped out of this room tomorrow. The rug's probably going in the garbage and everything else is probably getting donated to Goodwill. That stuff's not staying in Heather's house.
No,
she's like, I don't care if you pee the bed tonight. It's out of here tomorrow.
So true. It's so true.
Yeah.
Then back in Temecula, Tamra bought them all matching T-shirts with bikinis on them and the bathing caps with the flowers. I'm sorry. I love those flower bathing caps.
I do too.
It brings me back to like when I was a kid. Like, did you ever have one of those? I did too.
No. I didn't have one, but honestly, I'd like one now because we only blow out our hair once a week.
I know.
So in the summer, if you want to go swimming, you're like, shit, does this fall in line?
Well,
when I'm supposed to wash my hair and blow it out?
Yep.
you know?
No, I hear
you. And then with one of those, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. No, I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Gina is high from Heather's joint. She's like, it's an in case of emergency joint. She saves it for special occasions. It's interesting. So she calls it Heather's joint. Like, so I guess Heather's her supplier. Is that why she calls it Heather's
Heather's
joint?
marijuana, they called it.
Right.
Heather's marijuana.
Heather's marijuana. So Heather supplies him with it because I mean Tamra's the one with the THC line with Venus
Yeah,
CBD
but I
and
guess
THC.
Heather just gets good weed,
Yeah, I wonder
which
where.
I'm sure
Yeah,
checks out.
yeah, I wonder where she's getting it from.
Somebody good.
And yeah, exactly. So she's talking to Tamra, and I felt like at that point they were both completely high and not making any sense,
No, for sure. No.
right?
Yeah. So
And then,
Gina's California sober, which I subscribe to that.
right? I mean,
I don't smoke weed just because it's not my thing. I like to drink wine, but I'm a supporter of.
mm-hmm. Shannon and Jen are talking, and she's saying she's done with fighting with Tamra. She just wants to have fun. Not that she's forgiving her, she's just done with it, which I can kind of get. Like, it gets exhausting, right? Every
It
time you
gets
see,
exhausting, and I have people in my life that I have had hard times with, but at some point, that's the thing. You just kind of put it to the side and keep them at arm's length, but you still are cordial. And, sometimes they're just a really good time when you're at a party or something.
right?
So life's short and you just have a good time.
Yeah, I think that
You're not
that's
going to
fine.
call them the next day and tell them your deepest, darkest secrets.
Right, exactly.
Like
You're not
those
going to
days
trust
are
them.
over.
Right.
Right.
So back in Beverly Hills, Gretchen and Emily are having this pillow fight. I don't know if you picked up on this, but that was not in the same bedroom that they're supposed to be sleeping in. That was a different bedroom.
Yeah, well, because they were sleeping in the living room. Those beds were
Right.
set up in the living room,
In
but
the living room.
Heather told them go in the room and get changed.
Okay. I must have
Gretchen
missed
is
that
very
part.
funny to watch when she's drunk, but do you think that Emily and Heather went into this with a little bit of a plan, not a naked wasted plan, but a borderline wasted plan to get Gretchen drunk? Do you think maybe they had some inclination about this soundbite of Tamra's and knew if they got Gretchen to drink enough, she would talk about it?
I
Or
mean,
am I just really going off on the conspiracy theory?
I will say that I do believe that Emily's intention was for Gretchen to be drunk because she showed up with the
Yes.
fireball. I mean, she brought
Yes.
the bottle of fireball in the car and she knew that, listen, if you've ever had fireball, you know what fireball does. I won't even go near it. I will not go near
I
it.
hate it. I don't
I
like the
do.
taste of it.
I don't like it either. I don't like it either. And any time in my life I've even had so much as one shot, I'm sick. Like that's how it affects me.
This
Well,
is what I'm worried about. I'm
yeah.
worried about at the reunion, they're going to try to talk about Naked Wasted and show Tamara in a negative light about it. And then this night's going to get brought up. And it's going to be like, well, she doesn't know her limits. And look at what happened at Heather's house that night. Look at how much she drank. And that's what I'm thinking. And then I'm going to get really pissed off because Naked Wasted was bad. Very,
No,
very
it was
bad.
no, it was horrible. It was horrible. Emily asks about the song again, and Gretchen said that someone sent it to Slade. It comes back up again. Back in Temecula, they've dubbed Shannon is the madam of the synchronized swim team. And I don't know if you recall, as they're walking down the stairs, Jen is like giving synchronized movements to Shannon, and they're trying to do it as they're walking. This is the stuff I like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Gretchen's looking for her phone. Emily's still like screaming about, I need to hear the song. Then Gretchen FaceTimes Slade. And he says the story goes that the two of them were trying to make a recording and they forgot the audio was still on. So the recording is of them having sex. Emily
They're
said,
fooling around. Yeah.
right. Emily said, you said you had the audio. Gretchen said,
Right.
no, I heard the audio of her trying to sing the song in the studio. So it goes back and forth to, was it the audio of the song or the audio of what happened when they didn't know it was recording? Right. And then she asked if he heard the audio and he said yes. And Heather said, listen, I only want to hear the audio of her singing. Like, I don't want to hear the other stuff, which
And here's the other thing. It's not clear when this happened,
no, it's not.
if she was married, if she was with Eddie. Like, it's not clear. Like, and Slade certainly didn't say she cheated on Eddie with this guy or she cheated on Simon with this guy. Like, they never
Right.
alluded to the fact that she cheated at this point. I don't know what happens in the future.
Right. That's true. That's true. And honestly, I think that's where it's all the semantics with them. It's the semantics of, was it the recording of the song? Was it the recording of her messing around? When did it happen? Because Heather did say in the car, oh, well, was she married? And Gretchen didn't answer.
She did not answer. She did not answer.
Gretchen didn't answer, and Heather did it. So she asked the question. We didn't get an answer from Gretchen, but we got from Heather
a response.
So, right. So you can do what you want with that. You know, it's alluding to it, right? Then Gretchen says, you guys can't go back to Tamra and tell her this because it's going to be a problem. This is going to cause a problem in the group. And Heather's like, well, too late.
Too late is right.
Right. Too late.
You did it.
So when Gina announces that she's, California sober, she offers some to Shannon, and Shannon says she can't have any because she has a cough. And then Gina says to Shannon, again, I'm worried about you. You live alone and you've had this cough for a while, she said. But she,
2008. She's had a cough since 2008.
2008, right. She brings up that Matt just had a heart attack. And, Shannon's there by herself. And Shannon does admit that she's talking to Archie. Like, her and Archie are, having a one-sided conversation.
And then Tamra says, my concerns are the same as Gina's concerns, meaning that it was her health. It was not.
No, it
That's
wasn't.
bullshit, Tamra, so shut up.
No, absolutely it was not. So then it's the next morning and we see Shannon is up. She's making breakfast. Tamra offers to help, but she's trying to talk to Tamra. Tamra's trying to talk to Shannon while Shannon's trying to cook in a kitchen she's not familiar with. And I don't think she knows the recipe because I think she's looking at that
she was reading
on the computer,
it from her
right?
iPad. Yeah.
Yeah, while she's doing
whatever.
it. So obviously she can't be having a conversation with Tamra.
No.
And I don't blame her.
No, me neither. I'm trying to cook here.
Right. And Tamra gets all bent out of shape that, she's not receiving her the way she wants to be received. But meanwhile, back in Beverly Hills, they have the private chef and everything is perfect. Oh my
God, that breakfast looked so good.
I'm like, oh my God, I want to do the private Beverly Hills. I want to do everything they did in Beverly Hills. I do.
Yeah.
I really do.
That's my kind of sleep. Although I would take the house in Temecula too.
Yeah.
But I want the private chef. But you know what? They probably could have had a private chef and Shannon was like, I'll do it.
Right. Right.
Why did they keep putting fur coats on at Heather's house?
I didn't get that. It was only 2 of them though, right? I don't think Emily had one on, right? Just Gretchen and...
I don't know.
I did notice that. I was like, what is that about? Was it instead of a robe, they threw on a fur coat?
Maybe.
I don't know. Jen asks Gina if she thinks her and Travis will get married, and Gina says she doesn't know. They have a court date in a month for Travis. He's trying to get full custody of the kids, and they don't know what's going to happen. Listen, that's a lot. That's a lot.
I really wish we knew the full story, because, there's his side, her side, and then the truth somewhere in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is my thought on it. Because they're not her kids, and Travis is only her boyfriend, I don't really think we need to know. I don't think that part of the story is any of our business. And I hope that she doesn't share too much because I don't think it's fair to those kids.
No, it's definitely not fair to those kids.
Whatever's going to happen.
She's not their parent and she's the one who signed up for the show. I mean,
Right.
Travis is on the show, obviously, but,
right.
No. I don't think we need to know. I would just like to know.
No, I get that. But I kind of even wish she didn't say that because it just leads you to believe when a father's going for full custody of the kids, it's usually because it's a bad situation with the mom, right?
Yeah. And she's saying a lot more this season than she ever has. And that's not going to be good for the situation.
No, it's not. It's not. Okay, so then back in Beverly Hills, they're being served, and Emily wants to have a couple of eggs over hard. What the hell is an egg over hard?
I guess that's where the yolk is fully cooked.
Okay, so that's a fried egg. That's just a fried egg.
It is a fried egg with the fully cooked
yolk.
Because you could fry an egg and have it over medium. You know what I mean? Where the yolk is still a little runny.
Right.
She just wants the yolk fully cooked, which
okay. Yeah. So she just wants a regular hard fried egg.
Right.
The chef says that, he would never make that, but obviously that's what she wants. That's what he'll make. And then Terry comes in and sits down for breakfast.
Terry's
Terry
not gonna
says
miss a scene.
he would like a sleep divorce, and Emily, um, listen, let's talk about the sleep divorce thing.
Let's talk about it for sure.
I'm here for a sleep divorce, to be quite honest with
Yeah,
you.
as soon as one of my kids move out, I'm moving in.
There you go. I like to sleep in my bed alone. I like to sleep in my bed alone. I don't want an arm coming over and hitting me. I don't want a leg, you know. I can't even tell you, I'm not even exaggerating, how many bruises I have on my shins just because his leg came flying across the bed. And I bruise easily. I'm like,
So funny.
and that and the snoring. I mean, the snoring alone. I just like
Yeah, it's a lot.
snoring is just, ugh. As far as sleeping goes, I'm here for a separate sleeping area. And if we're calling that a sleep divorce, sign me up.
For sure. For sure.
Emily asked Gretchen if she ever thought about getting married, and Gretchen said she would love to. Heather said, "Well, years ago we had talked about it, and you had said that it was a financial reason." Um, and then
Sounds like it still is.
yeah, so they've been together for 16 years. And Emily asked, "Well," and this is also again, I thought these were such personal questions for Emily to be
They were
asking.
grilling her.
I mean,
They were grilling her.
it was uncomfortable for me,
Totally agree.
right?
Yes.
Like, asking her, "Well, are you financially separate now?" Gretchen said, "Well, they've always been, she's always been independent. She doesn't want a man to be able to control her financially," which, listen, I applaud her for that. And
For
Emily said, "Well,
sure.
it's your house." She said, "Yeah." "Well, like, what does he like, you make the mortgage payment?" She's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, does he pay you rent?" "What?" And then Heather jumps in. Yeah, Heather jumps in and said, "Well, I guess he pays for the groceries and stuff." And she's like, "Well, no, that comes out of my account." I'm like, "Oh God, like why?"
I honestly felt a little bad for Gretchen because I'm sure she didn't think she was going into that conversation, but she answered all those questions. I mean,
And then,
she at no
yeah.
point was like, "You know what?
Well, no,
I
at
don't wanna
one
talk
point,
about
no.
this."
After that, she said about when she said, "The groceries come out of my account." She's like, I feel like this is weird questioning.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's where it ended. Well, honestly, you should have said that a lot sooner, Gretchen, because
Exactly.
that was totally inappropriate and none of their damn business.
It really wasn't any of their business because, I mean, listen, Emily, I know you were an attorney before you got married, but, it's pretty clear that Shane's family is very wealthy and probably why you are living the lifestyle you're living.
And why
So
doesn't
I
anyone
don't
question
know.
her? Why doesn't any of her castmates question
Nobody
her about
does.
that?
It's very interesting.
None of them
It's
do.
very
Not a
interesting.
single one of them. All of us
No.
question it. Every single
Yeah.
fan I see it questioned all the time, but not a
And,
single one of her
Heather, I mean, she
castmates.
has some acting accolades, but, I'm
But
pretty
she is
sure
married.
Terry's
She is married. He is
sure.
her
I mean, so
husband.
is
So
Emily, but
yeah, but it's not Emily's husband's money. It's his family's money. There's a
yeah.
difference. This
I
isn't
do think
Terry's
it's
family's
very
money.
interesting though. And listen, you know, we're Christians and, we don't, but Gretchen, when it's convenient, does use her Christianity
She definitely does.
and, and I'm not judging her because I'm a let your flag fly kind of girl, but you're not married. You do have a daughter,
Hmm.
you know, I I'm just saying, she uses her Christianity when she needs to, I think.
Well, initially, what she had said when the season started, that I don't know if it came up on Watch What Happens Live or not, but way back when she first got engaged, she kept saying that the wedding wasn't important to her and she was not going to get married until everyone could get married. Like she was standing for the
Yes, I do remember that.
gay marriage. Like she was
Yeah.
standing for that. But gay marriage is legal. You're not standing for that anymore. So if it, you know, Listen, you
I
do
mean,
what you want to do.
obviously it's because of the finances, and I don't blame her at all. However, I don't know about, oh, maybe this isn't true in California. New Jersey, what you had prior to the relationship, who you marry is not entitled to it. So like her business, she does have, Gretchen Rossi Design, like she does have some kind of lifestyle business. So he wouldn't be entitled to, well, again, I don't know. It might be different in California.
But wait a second. What about common law? Is there common law in California? Because they've been together
There's not in
16 years.
Jersey.
Yeah, no, but I think that there might be in California. Um, Let me just see.
Yeah, I mean, then he might be entitled to half of her townhouse, her house.
Is there common law marriage in California? No, California does not recognize common law marriage established.
I don't think a lot of states do anymore, but I could be wrong. I know New Jersey does not.
Yeah, nope. California does not. So that would not help. But listen,
I
there
mean,
are
listen,
things.
unless she had him sign a prenup, there's no reason
That's
for her
it.
to get
I
married.
was going to say there are things like prenups,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
And if he doesn't sign it, then don't get married.
right,
At this point, do you need to get married? You don't need to get married.
right. So then just say that. I don't need the piece of paper.
Exactly. Then just say it. Like, we don't
Right,
feel like we need to now,
right.
unless Bravo wants to pay for it and gives her own spinoff special.
So Heather, in her confessional after that whole grilling about what Slade pays for and what Gretchen pays, Heather in her confessional says, Gretchen and Slade's financial situation is really none of my business. No kidding. But Slade's financial situation is, but it never made any sense to me. Heather said that's why when Gretchen proposed to Slade, we all thought it was bullshit. Like, why are they not legally wed? Why is nothing in his name? Why is nothing in his
Well,
name?
she's right. And I think Gretchen did that whole engagement to try to stay on the show, personally, because she saw what happened. Tamra falsely befriended her.
Yeah.
And then turned on her, like we all knew she would, to get her off
Right.
the show.
Yeah. So then after breakfast, they're all now getting chair massages. And Gretchen says, you guys got me in trouble last night. The lady said, no, you did this. Gretchen asked them again not to repeat what was said. Oh, no, it's coming out, Gretchen.
Oh, yeah. And she's saying she had nothing to do with it. She's putting it on Slade.
So Emily says to Gretchen, you say Tamara is a horrible person because she's accused you of having an affair that you had to spend all this money to prove that you didn't have an affair. Yet now you've just done the same thing to Tamara. She actually said that to Gretchen.
That's what I'm saying. I think that this was all planned out. I think they knew about this recording, and they knew if they got Gretchen drunk enough, she would say it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you had producers egging her on.
And then in her confessional, Emily said Tamara and Gretchen are the same person. There's a lot of truth to that. There is a lot of truth to that. I did think Shannon's breakfast looked very nice that she put together.
Delicious. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's when she's telling them about how she talks to Archie. Tamara then asked Shannon if she still goes to therapy. And she said, yeah, multiple times a week. And listen, I believe that she's going multiple times a week. I do
too.
And honestly, Tamara should be going multiple times a week too. Just saying.
Yeah. And Tamara should be going, period. Because I would venture to say the only time Tamara's been to therapy are the 2 or 3 times we've seen it on camera. And other than that, she probably doesn't even know that woman's name, who's she's sitting in that room.
So then Jen says to Shannon, like, what takes you from I'm upset and pissed to like derailment? And Shannon said, listen, she talks about catastrophizing in her therapy sessions. I'd never even heard that word before.
Me neither.
Shannon said, well, I
think I do it.
Yeah. Shannon said, I grew up with like not knowing what was going to happen. It was a bit of chaos. You know, she remembers her mom, and when she was going through a divorce, she was in college and she came home, and her mom was going to serve her father the papers. That's why she came home and for the weekend, and the process server didn't get to get to serve the papers before 5:00. So they're all there knowing that he's going to get served, and he doesn't. And Tamara says to Shannon, well, didn't you say your dad had a drinking problem when you were growing up? And I do not blame Shannon. First of all,
So over the line.
So out of line. So out of line. Shannon
because you know what Tamra's doing. She's trying to establish that it runs in the family.
That's right. That's right. And Shannon's dad is 96 years old and he just celebrated his birthday, and she has a relationship with her dad, and you're going to bring this up on camera? He is still alive and well and in her life and her children's lives. You are a selfish biatch.
Seriously, Tamra can fuck all the way off after doing this.
Like that?
This is not making you a good housewife, Tamra.
No,
Makes you
no.
look like a complete asshole.
No, I totally agree. And honestly, as far as lawsuits go,
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
you have got to be kidding me. Seriously? You know, Shannon said, I get it. You're trying to be helpful, but my dad is 96 years old and he's a different man. I don't want to hurt my father. Tamara says, I don't want to hurt your father, Shannon. Well, then why are you saying things like that?
But you just did.
Right. Right. And in her confessional, Shannon says, listen, I had these private conversations with Tamara off camera. Like, never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that she would like weaponize this and bring it out on camera. I don't
Right.
blame her. That
No,
is
I don't
not
blame her either.
that is not what a friend does. A friend would never do that.
No. And then Gina tries to defend Tamara, and thank God Jen calls bullshit. Like
Yeah.
Gina's like, I don't think that she had, bad intentions. And Jen's like, yes, she did. And that's when Tamara goes in the house and says, have another glass of champagne, Shannon.
Yep.
She's an asshole.
Yep. Yep.
Meanwhile, she's the nasty drunk in the group.
Right. She
with
is.
her eyes slit open.
Yep. Tamara, and she's still maintaining, I was just trying to help you, Shannon, you know? I was just trying to point out, like, I understood that you had struggles growing up. Shannon said, Tamara, I went to a trauma facility where I was in deep therapy for 8 hours a day, so I'm well aware. I don't need you, who goes once a week, only on camera, to tell me, about the trauma that I have. And that's, it was so disgusting.
Like Shannon's like, don't try to tell me how therapy works. Like, that's a joke.
Yeah. And the fact that she got up and stormed out and made it about her in that moment, again, just is like,
Always.
you have got to be kidding me.
Victimizing herself.
I'm a victim. About you.
I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. No, you're damned if you do, because you always do, and it's always doing the wrong thing.
Right. Right. I mean, Gina's like, well,
and then
what are we
Jen goes in and asks her if that was a dig. What do you think she's going to say, Jen?
I know.
And of course it was a dig.
I know Jen was trying to help, but listen, you can't send a kitten after a barracuda. Like, you just can't do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jen wasn't the person to do that. And
no,
even
Shannon should have went in there and been like, but Shannon was smart to not do that. And she said, I'm setting boundaries and this is what I need to do. And then she said her therapist told her not to go and she should have listened to her.
Right. And which is what she said.
Should have.
Which is what she said when Gina and Jen tried to talk her into going. She said, my therapist said I shouldn't go. They're like, well, go for us. She's right. She needs to keep her boundaries, and she shouldn't have gone. Her therapist was right. So then Gina, after that happened, she's like in the kitchen and she like collapses on the floor. Like, I was like, that was a bit much. But she did, have a good point. She's like, these women are literally 61 and 57 years old, and they're acting like they're in middle school. She said it should be studied by therapists, which that I do agree. It definitely should be studied by therapists.
I don't think Shannon's acting like she's in middle school.
I don't either. I think Shannon is setting her boundaries and shutting her down. And I think she started doing that as soon as she got her DUI, when she would get up and walk away from a situation instead of freaking out. Because I can remember Shannon, like, first season, when she had that meltdown with Heather when they were on the beach at what's-her-name's house, and she stormed out of the house, and Heather's
Lizzie's,
like,
and Heather went over to Terry and said, I think she's having a psychotic break.
Right.
Shut up, Heather.
Right.
You're a C-list actress. You have no background to make that judgment. And by the way, neither does your plastic surgeon husband.
Right. And that's who Shannon was, right? That's who Shannon was. Shannon has come so far on this show. Shannon has
And look at what her breakdown was over, because Tamra told her that the DeBros said we're going to take down the Badors, which is a ridiculous thing anyway, because obviously it's not something that Terry and Heather would say. So Tamra was lying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that was all about.
Yeah.
But you're right. She used to react very differently. And so she is going to therapy and it is working for her.
And this is what I would like to see at the reunion. I would like the producers to pull up Shannon pre-therapy and Shannon today. I would like the producers to pull up Tamra in the beginning, before therapy, and Tamra today. And they're going to see the exact same thing. They're going to see the exact same thing.
I hope they listen to this and I hope they do that. Yep.
Yeah. Like, this is bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit. And Tamra still thinks she's a great housewife.
She thinks that she's moving story along. You know, she's stirring the pot. I don't cook, but I do stir the pot, or whatever her
hat said.
Said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's deplorable. It really is.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
Not a fan either. So I don't have anything else on OC.
I do not either.
We can close this one out. So thank you for watching and listening. Please give us 5-star reviews and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.